Yeah, that's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a 5 big picture things we learned from the 2022 Notre Dame football season edition of the Always Irish Show. Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everybody. Hope it's a good one for you. On YouTube, you can find the show. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the notifications a hit. That way, every time new information drops, you're not going to miss it. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You can get me. Call in line 312-988-15. Let me know about what you heard and seen. Daily Notre Dame media routine. You all have it. Fighting Irish Wire. Check it out. See what we think. See what we have to say. First things first. What a great batch of playoff games. That is, I'm telling you, between Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State, Georgia, that's about as gripping of a 7-8 hour window of football as I can honestly remember in terms of the weight every play carries. It all matters to everybody. I mean, that was an unbelievable 2-game run that couldn't have been much more exciting. And, I mean, Michigan lost, so I'm happy. Like Michigan lost, so I'm happy. That's what it all comes down to. And then Ohio State was in position to win, and they didn't win. So now I end up with a championship with no Ohio State people being happy and no Michigan people being happy. I'm good. I may as well root for TCU. I have nothing against TCU. So let's root for Duggan and hope he wins the championship, I guess. But the number one nightmare I avoided, which was USC and Michigan making it, I avoided that. Then it was just Michigan as far as my personal hatred list. So I'm just relieved they're out. And then the angle of Ohio State making it, and then that making Michigan people more upset because, you know, they beat Ohio State, but then Ohio State would have a chance for a championship. I like that angle just because it hurts Michigan people more. But you know what? Now that the game's over and Ohio State isn't in it, good. I'm glad their fans aren't happy either. Neither of those fan bases deserve happiness, Michigan or Ohio State. So I'm glad they're both out. Whatever. But as far as the actual games, I can't think of a 2-game window back-to-back that was that exhilarating and exciting front to end with everything on the line. It was just a great day to watch football. And here's the other thing I want you to notice from both of these ball games. When you look at what's winning in the playoff now, it's a lot of action and a lot of points. Look at both of those ball games. A lot of action and a lot of points are what's winning it now. That feeds into some of our discussion today, Notre Dame people. So that's what I have to say. Maybe this ends up being your ultimate punishment for that schedule. Ohio State's less egregious than Michigan. Ohio State at least scheduled us in the non-conference instead of UConn and Hawaii. But, hey, Ohio State, Michigan, the Big Ten's kind of down in my opinion. You run right through it. Had your chance. Neither are making it. Fine with me. So let's get back to us. Man, this year went by fast, didn't it, folks? You wait all year to when's football? I miss college football. And then once it's here, you blink and it's over. The good, the bad, the exciting, the miserable, and a lot in the middle. All of it. Year one of the Freeman era is complete. Now is a great time to take stock of 5 things I've learned from year one of Marcus Freeman. Here's number 1. The roster came into this year with major holes. That top 5 ranking combined with the schedule we had this year was a very tough combination for a year one guy. All right? And I'm not just saying this now that we have 4 losses. Everybody always accuses me of that. that I'm circling back to this opinion when it's convenient and the facts are on my side. You would be incorrect. Go back to August, looking at the season preview. I said, I don't care if we're ranked top 5 or whatever. It ain't a top 5 roster, and that was proven. Proved to be true. Take that for whatever you want, but it needs to be mentioned first and foremost as the backdrop framework for the rest of this discussion. The roster was inherited with major holes. Some of them front line, some of them depth, but major holes. Quarterback, look at that struggle right away. Wide receiver, look at that struggle right away. As the year started, there were issues here. More work has to be done in that roster to get it where it needs to be than anybody wanted to admit going into this year. You could thank Swamp Thing for that. That's number one. Number two, the new head coach learning curve is a big one, and it's even bigger at Notre Dame. Bigger than we wanted. It's just tough. It's tough. It's tough being a first-time head coach anywhere. It's extra tough at Notre Dame. You're getting pulled in a million different directions. You're juggling a new staff. You're dealing with a quarterback injury situation all year, navigating that. You're trying to learn who on your staff is better at what, have it all come together. All the behind the scenes, off the field stuff that goes in, the obligations that come with the Notre Dame job, all of it. All of it. The new coach learning curve is huge. It's bigger at Notre Dame, and I think it's even bigger than I wanted it to be, even though I knew these things were true and were in play. I just think to a certain extent in this business, you have to pay your dues. I really believe that. I think you have to pay your dues in this business to get initiated into that club. And I feel like this year was Marcus's initiation. There were some rough waters to navigate. Coming at you fast for the first time. Sink or swim, decide on the fly. Navigate on the fly off your gut, like when you have no body of experience to lean on. That it's just that learning curve's bigger and steeper than I think anybody wanted to admit. The good news is I think Marcus Freeman is emerging on the other side of that now. Number 3, Marcus is a man of the people and everybody wants him to succeed. Yeah, it's still true. That was true going into the year, and then now that we've seen the body of work, it's still true. And I noticed some people would be like, well, John, what is this bullet point? Like, this is a hollow bullet point. Obviously, any head coach of Notre Dame, the Notre Dame fans are going to want him to do well because we want to win. It's different. It's different in Notre Dame with some of those people in that circle even. The power play circle at Notre Dame. There's a difference between how I feel about Marcus, where I want him to win because he's the head coach of Notre Dame. And I want him to win so he gets the credit because I love him as a man. That's different than what it was with Kelly. What it was with Kelly was I wanted him to win so I'm happy because he's the head coach of my team. But personally, I didn't like him at all. There's a big difference in how that feels and how that plays. Front and center and behind the scenes at Notre Dame, too. Marcus is a man of the people, and everybody wants him to succeed as a man. That's different than Marcus is head coach, and we want him to win for Notre Dame so the fans are happy. He is a man of the Irish people, and everybody's in his corner. That matters, and it's different than what it was before. There were people who work for Kelly who didn't care for Kelly. This is a different vibe, and it's important in Notre Dame. Okay? Everybody wanted Kelly to win, so we would be happy as fans. That doesn't mean I liked him and his personality, and I wanted that to get credit. Those are different. Big difference, okay? Number 4, the buy-in is there. This team had multiple chances to just fold it in and quit for the year, end up 6-6 or 5-7, whatever. And it looked like it was trending that way for a while. They never quit and kept fighting. That is a huge indicator to me. These guys are bought into Marcus Freeman, want him to succeed. Okay? They had multiple chances to give up, never ever did, kept fighting. That's a good sign of the buy-in. That leads me into number 5. Inconsistency was the theme of this year for Notre Dame. The overall number 1 theme was inconsistency. Up, down, in the middle, really good, really bad, no show, all of it. You got to know, you got to have a good idea your baseline level of play to build from every week in a season moving forward. That inconsistency has to be leveled out. Year 1 calibration, all the changes and adjustments, we talked about it all. I understand it. I understand why there would be that level of inconsistency this year. I'm just saying that needs to be over. You just can't have a dynamic where you never know if your team's going to show up. So that's the number 1 theme of the year on the field, is that inconsistency. That has to be leveled out fast, like next year fast. Okay? So those are my 5 things. The roster had major holes, way more than a lot of people wanted to accept going into the year. Head coach learning curve is a steep one, steeper than anybody wants to accept. Marcus is a man of the people. Everybody wants him to succeed. The buy-in from the team is there. Inconsistency was the theme of the year, and it needs to be leveled out. First year, it needs to be leveled out. And so I'll finish with this. I said it before, I'll say it again. Every minute we get away from Kelly, there's more pressure placed on Marcus. This was the leeway calibration year. Figure it out. You're dealing with the old guy's roster, like all of that. And that's now over. From now on, every recruit and player will be Marcus Freeman's. There are no more excuses. In a bad year where everything goes wrong, 10-2 is the minimum. 11-1 and 12-0 should be in play every year from now on. That's the bar here now. You got that 1 year with all the moving parts, it's over. 11-1, 12-0 need to be in play every year moving forward till the new playoff, and you're in it almost every year. That's the new modern bar at Notre Dame. The pressure's cranking up as it should. Happy New Year.